them, who could be a big contributor. And the combined might of all-stars Chad Boucher, Dan Holiday, and the thoroughly amazing MVP Jason Edwards should be enough offense to put wins on the board. Also, the return of Brian Smith, who's back from a brief retirement, should bolster their attack on the Snake side. Overall, Damage looks as strong as they ever have, and they're a big favorite to win events this season. Rebuilt and rebooted for 2013, the LA Ironmen have loaded up a new program in search of another championship for the legendary franchise. It's been 3.5 years since their last win, and they're hungry to get back to the top of the game. Mike Hinman has replaced Kevin Brettauer as head coach, bringing in his intense mentality and practice regimen. The roster is radically different than the beginning of 2012, acquiring the #1 American player Marcelo Margot, who's been promoted to team captain. They lost longtime players Brandon Short and Kyle Spickett of San Diego Dynasty, but picked up a once dominant Alex Goldman, who wants nothing other than to prove to the world he's still one of the best snake players in paintball. Stephen Pitts, who's an experienced, highly underrated gunfighter, and Corey Bornstein, who played last season with Excessive, have also been added to the mix. With all the new weapons and current members, like last year rookie standout Alex Rodriguez and vet Mike Paxton, they are one of the early favorites to win in 2012.
All right, here we go. Last game of the day. The first day of competition here, the 2013 Mid-Atlantic Open. Second stop on the PSP Tour, Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez. And for the last game of the day, we got the Los Angeles Ironmen, and they are going to be taking on Tampa Bay Damage. So, honestly, Todd, this is one of those games that we could see in the finals, So I love seeing these games in the prelims when you have two evenly matched teams, both hungry for greatness, matching up against each other in the prelims. But that is the magic of the way we're running things in the PSP now with the Champs and Challengers division. Every single game's important, and the Ironmen, they won that first game, but it was a close one. And now Damage, so both these teams, man, looking for a win here.
Yeah, I really like both of these teams, though. This field layout, both the way that these teams play. I can't wait to see Chad Boucher, Marcelo Margot. All these guys get off to the races over here. I missed the last couple games, but this is the game that I've been waiting for. And Ironman Damage, always like you said, Matty, like a finals match. So, both these teams, every win counts. Every point counts out here. And, this one getting set to kick off in about 10 seconds right now.
So here we go. Looking at the Los Angeles Ironmen on your screen right now. We're going to throw 20 minutes on the board. Ironmen in the red and black, Damage in the blue. Both in the dyed jerseys. And here we go. Los Angeles Ironmen breaking out on the Snake side of the field. And I'll tell you what, Alex Goldman has really had a day so far, but he ends up getting taken out. Now, wow, did you see that crazy dive shot coming in on Alex Goldman? It looked like he was in there pretty tight. He gets taken out. So Alex Goldman and Marcelo Margot both coming off early here for the Los Angeles Ironmen.
Yeah, and you got Rumsey El Youssef, Timmy Probst, both attacking up the Snake side. Timmy Probst locking off the Snake side from that center Aztec. Brian Smith shooting a lot of paint from the Snake over towards that Dorito side. Mike Paxton also mirrored up with Timmy Probst. He's trying to keep Brian Smith from coming into Snake 2 as Rumsey El Youssef gets shot for Tampa Bay Damage.
Yeah, so, Rumsey El Youssef, he did get a kill on Marcelo Margot pretty much on the break, and he's getting some spins over here, but he has been coming off relatively early here for Damage. So let's see if he can clock in and do some work. You're looking at Brian Smith jumping over, gliding in. And so Brian Smith able to get in here into Snake 2 clean. And so he's going to try to shoot cross field. And now you're looking at number 5 for the Los Angeles Ironmen, Justin Schwartz, who's over here on the Snake side of the field.
Yeah, you got Justin Schwartz, Mike Paxton, Stephen Pitts over there in the Dorito. Justin Schwartz in Snake 1, looking across the field. He's working on Chad Boucher. Rainey Stanzak there on your screen, number 99, standing tall in that tower on the Dorito side.
Yeah, that was a new pickup for Tampa Bay Damage in the early part of this season, and he was actually playing against the team. You're playing for the team he's playing against right now. So, Rainey's definitely going to want to dig deep here. Interesting note, also the coach for Tampa Bay Damage, Kevin Brettauer, was coaching for the Los Angeles Ironmen last season. So, a little bit of a grudge match here between the two Die Factory teams. Neither team wanting to give an inch here. They're both 3 alive. Brian Smith, Rainey Stanzik, and Chad Boucher left alive for Tampa Bay Damage. LA Ironmen have Stephen Pitts, Mike Paxton, and Justin Swartz alive.
Yeah, a little flip-flop, switch-swap for some of the players and coaching staff over here on both these teams. But I really feel like both these teams are much better off. All the players and coaches are in good positions. You know, Ironman picking up Mike Hinman to take over the reins for Skinny Kevin. And, you know, he's doing a great job with Damage. Like I said, very cohesive unit. I really like their attitude as a group right now. And I think they're going to play some really good paintball. Brian Smith back way up on Snake 2. He's looking to get shots on Stephen Pitts across the field. Justin Schwartz now breaks from Snake 1 on into Snake 2, so he's playing all over Snake 2 now.
You know, Todd, cool to see Justin over here on the Snake side of the field. Normally, for the past couple years, we've seen him on the D side. And, you know, he's a versatile guy, very athletic player, and, you know, very experienced. Played for Dynasties, played for a lot of big squads, and, you know, now on the Ironman, played for Infamous. And, you know, it's just one of those guys that if Justin's playing well, you know, the Ironmen just have so many weapons, though, Todd. There's so many weapons on both these teams. That's why I love to watch matchups like this. Again, this is essentially a finals game that we get to watch in the prelims.
Well, you know, when you give yourself, you know, when you build your roster and you establish a high level of talent across the board, then you give yourselves more opportunities to be successful, because as Justin Schwartz makes a move, and he is going to trade out with Brian Smith. But having a high level of talent gives you more opportunities to be successful, because there's a lot more chances that your intelligent, talented, experienced players are going to play well.
Yeah, so it's all going to go down on the D side, so we're going to switch to the G side camera here. Oh, Stephen Pitts gets eaten up for Los Angeles Ironmen. Just Mike Paxton left alive, and it's going to be tough for him. He's looking at Rainey Stanzik and Chad Boucher as they close the distance here, and they're going to try to take out Mike. Now, if anyone can pull a 2-on-1 off, it is definitely Mike Paxton. He's done this many times, but look at that. So Rainey Stanzik takes down his former teammate and friend, Mike Paxton, to take this first point. So real long point here, Todd, is, you know, almost about 4 minutes and 15 seconds elapsed here before Tampa Bay Damage, Chad Boucher, last player left alive, finally hanging that flag. And wow, so, you know, this is probably what we're going to see. I mean, that was a very close point, long point, and Tampa Bay Damage going up first here, and we're going to be right back after this.
Odds that this cop has never eaten a donut. Odds of making one of those ridiculous TV dance competition shows. Odds of meeting this person. Odds of you winning this tournament. Odds of you winning a prize from Valken, especially if you head over to Facebook and enter our Paintball Access Daily Contest. Enter, win, celebrate.
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
Россия – это страна с очень сложными погодными условиями.
Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than leading competitors,
the Spire is designed to take the toughest abuse the paintball puts out and keep feeding no matter how bad your paint or weather gets.
With a true 200 round capacity, it holds more paint as well.
Not only is it easier to take apart, but more importantly, it's easier to put back together. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
Did you hear that? Hear what? Tanks? Tanks? Tanks! Tanks! Oh yeah, tanks! Night night! Tanks! 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 Weasel free!
Back here, last game of the day, Friday's competition, 2013 Mid-Atlantic Open here, second stop on the PSP Tour. Man, it's going to be a great year so far. Introduction to the Champs and Challengers League. Every game counts, every point is important. And right now we're seeing two powerhouse teams throw down. Tampa Bay Damage up 1-0 against the Los Angeles Ironmen. Los Angeles Ironmen going to be fielding Corey Bornstein, Marcelo Margot, Alex Rodriguez, Alex Goldman, and the new kid on the block for the Ironmen, Michael McCormick. Jason Edwards, Chad Bussiere, Keith Brown, Timmy Probst, and Jacob Edwards going to be getting spins for Tampa Bay Damage. This game brought to you by e-paintball.com. They've been taking care of paintball players since 2002, run by serious paintball players. They have loyalty rewards programs. From the guy answering the phone to the guy doing the web design, every single person on their squad has been playing for years. They got everything you need. Check out their website. Again, it's very important that everyone listening to this support the people that support the sport. If it wasn't for the sport, if it wasn't for these companies that live and breathe paintball and are trying to give opportunities to all these teams, all around the world. We got 150 teams here playing in this sold-out tournament. It's a great year for paintball, so be a part of that. Let these people know you appreciate them helping out the league and the sport itself. Here we go on the breakout. Los Angeles Ironmen on the right-hand side, Tampa Bay Damage on the left, and Ironmen in a really good field position, Todd, off the break.
Oh, man, and Ironmen lose 2 bodies off the break. Both Marcelo Margot and Corey Bornstein go down off the Dorito side for Ironmen. Alex Rodriguez going to run all the way back, see if he can catch Chad Bussiere. Nope, Chad Bussiere is still alive.
Yeah, just doing damage control over there, Todd.
Yeah, but Chad Bussiere is still on. He's in the Dorito 2 of the Ironmen right now as Alex Rodriguez also gets shot. And it's going to be bad for Mike McCormick here real quick as looks like Timmy Probst comes up into Snake 2. Jason Edwards standing tall over as Alex Goldman gets shot, and Mike McCormick, the remaining Ironman player. That is Jacob Edwards coming through the middle of the field. Here comes Timmy, and Timmy is standing up over top of Mike McCormick, going to give him a couple in the leg.
So Tampa Bay Damage, man, making quick work of them this point. First point was a rather long, drawn-out point, but Tampa Bay Damage going to put another one on the board here real fast to make this 2-0 here. Los Angeles Ironmen going to have to pull the ripcord on this one to get something going here.
Yeah, but, I mean, Tampa Bay, excellent shooting on the break that game, got both bodies. They actually shot Marcelo Margot on the break in the first point, too. Marcelo, the first point, tried to play the edge a little bit of the A and got caught diving into that tall tower on the Dorito side. That point ran out there a little bit harder, but still got clipped out.
Well, the Ironmen, man, such a deep roster. Both these teams very deep. The Ironmen did take a couple hits to the roster before this event as Toke Hamill, who wasn't really getting a lot of playing time. He saw some playing time in 2012, his rookie year, and did some damage for them. But he goes back to Royalty to play with his boys. And then they also lost Eric Humphreys, who'd been one of those up-and-coming stars for them. But, with the roster that the Ironmen are putting out there right now, just the fact that Marcelo Margot and Alec Goldman are on your team, 2 of the best ones, the first attackers in the entire business, are on the same squad. That's a tough order for any team to deal with, but Tampa Bay Damage doing a real good job of it themselves. Them, very stacked roster. They also took some hits in the offseason. Go to paintballaccess.com. We got a lot more behind-the-scenes information, and we're going to be right back with more of this Damage and Ironman battle. See you in a second. On the roster.
We're looking for a guy that's on our heels every weekend.
My name is Wesley Ward. I'm 23. I'm from Macon, Georgia.
Scott Kemp, age 26. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
The attitude thing, man, it's one of those things. Some people like it, some don't.
We are back. We're looking at the Edwards brothers getting ready to roll here for Tampa Bay Damage. Number 13 is Jason Edwards, the elder, and Jacob Edwards, his younger brother. Jason Edwards, the more storied player, such a good success story. Played with the Philly Americans, the now defunct team. Did very well with them, made a name for himself, and then just has been stunning for Tampa Bay Damage. And his younger brother Jason, very aggressive. But Rainey Stanzik, the new pickup for them this year, he's got 2 confirmed kills this matchup. And Justin Suarez also, he has 2 confirmed kills. But look at this, the Ironmen losing 2 players off the break, Todd.
Yeah, and I swear, Damage is just shooting excellent lanes off the break over here, getting Paxton and Justin Schwartz. Alex Goldman in Snake 1. Marcelo Margot makes it out alive. He's in the Dorito Tower. And I believe Stephen Pitts over there in Dorito 1 for Ironmen. But Tampa Bay, they got good field position. They still have all their bodies with Jason Edwards in the temple at the back of Snake 1. Rumsey El Youssef playing the back of Snake 2. Jacob Edwards is locking off the Dorito side from the temple in the middle of the field. Rainey Stanzak, after shooting from the back center, bumped out to the Dorito tower and is now looking across the field.
And on your screen right now, you're looking at the Ironmen. Look at both those guns rolling towards the Snake side of the field. There's Marcelo Margot who's trying to get a shot on the man that you are looking at in your screen right now, number 12, Ramzi Al-Yusuf, and he gets taken out cross field. So I'm not sure if it was Marcelo. Find out in just a second who got that kill on him. And then Alex Goldman gets shot out as well. So just Pitts and Margot left alive for the Los Angeles Ironmen, looking at 4 Tampa Bay Damage players. So again, Tampa Bay Damage in the driver's seat at this point.
And here comes Jacob Edwards down the middle of the field with all the bodies off the snake side. Just Steven and Marcelo over here alive for the Ironmen on the Dorito side. There's Jacob Edwards, number 31, now creeping into the A. He got shot in the foot underneath. What a creeper shot. That was probably Steven Pitts right there underneath the A. Excellent shot, trying to even it up.
Yeah, so Pitts getting 2 confirmed kills here in this point. Marcelo Margot got himself 1. So now we got ourselves a 2-on-2 matchup here as Rainey Stanzik and Jason Edwards are matching up against Marcelo Margot and Steven Pitts, though much better field position for Tampa Bay Damage as, Jason Edwards here in the 50-yard line, or at the 50-yard line on the snake side. He gets caught. So Jason Edwards, he comes off, and now the Ironmen looking to put a point on the board here. So big comeback here if they were able to get this point and able to get and make it a 1-point matchup.
Yeah, Steven Pitts and Marcelo Margot, never say die. Fight their way back.
And Steven Pitts getting himself a 3-pack right here. Big pickup for the Ironmen in the offseason as, Steven Pitts is a guy who's been playing under Mike Paxton for years, and as soon as he took over the helm with the Los Angeles Ironmen, Mike got on the phone, called up Steven Pitts, was like, hey, I need you to come out and do some work for me, and he's doing some work right now for the Ironmen. And Marcelo grabbing that flag. So nice job. Marcelo Margot finishing off that last kill. So 2 for Marcelo and 3 for Steven there in that point. They're doing most of the work for the Ironmen right now and keeping this team here in this matchup.
Yeah, and we're going to watch the breakouts over here. Here is the breakout for Tampa Bay Damage. There you see Jason Edwards coming out wide, shooting back up the gut. They get 1 kill off that side. Rainey Stanzik hangs back, shoots his lane, and then bumps into the tower. Here's the Ironmen on the breakout as they're going to lose Mike Paxton coming out, or Justin Schwartz coming out wide. And then they're going to lose Mike Paxton on the bump. So as he comes across, he gets shot. So good shooting on the break by Tampa Bay Damage, but excellent job by the Ironmen, Steven Pitts and Marcelo Margot, to pull that game back. There you're looking into the Damage pits right now. There's Brian Smith, Paul Everett added to the roster. Jacob Edwards, number 31 there on your left. Got caught slipping, got shot in the toesies underneath the A by Mr. Steven Pitts.
Yeah, Steven Pitts, man. Steven Pitts known as a very intellectual player, a guy who doesn't make a lot of mistakes, got a lot of gumption. And when things go wrong, he's one of those players that you want left alive. So, and proving it yet again in that last point to keep his team in this game. 11 minutes and 39 seconds left to go here, about 33 before the start of this next point. There's Chad Boussier, Keith Brown, and the rest of the Damage crew getting ready to roll here, waiting for the rest of their boys to come out. Timmy Probst and Rainey Stanzik, again, who had come over from the Ironmen to follow Skinny Kevin Brettauer, new coach for Tampa Bay Damage. And these 2 Die Factory teams throwing down against each other.
Yeah, 2 of the most exciting teams to watch in the league, in my opinion. Both these guys have such speed, such talent, such experience.
And here we go, looking at the Ironman breakout. And there is number 89, Alex Goldman. And he immediately dives into the snake, and looks like the Ironmen lose Marcelo off the break, though. So Marcelo Margot getting shot early here. So let's see if Alex can actually get some kills out of the snake side. Alex Goldman got a goose egg on the confirmed kill count here so far in this match. Mike McCormick also getting a spin for the Ironmen. New pickup for them.
Yeah, Mike McCormick came up the middle, went to that center temple again. And now he is locking off the snake side as Keith Brown, the Wheels of Steel, gets into snake 2 right away. And he's just going to lay on his belly while Mike McCormick tries to pound that spot. Timmy Probst's going to do the same thing. There you see snake 1 for the Ironmen. That's Alex Goldman, number 89, trying to play the outside, trying to wrap on Timmy. You got Brian Smith inside of Timmy in the snake side tower. Keith Brown still in Snake 2 laying down. There's Brian Smith shooting across the field. Alex Goldman getting held up by Timmy Probst. You know, this is a spot that's you always see Timmy Probst in. You know, he shoots from the back center or gets out to one of those lock spots. He's such a good gun battler, so good at staying alive. Chad Bougere bumps from the corner into Dorito 1. Gonna get involved over here. Only body to drop still, just the first one. Marcelo Margot got shot on the break by Rainey Stanzak.
And you're looking at Alex Goldman on your screen right now here into the Snake 1. So, you know, not really looking to move. You can always tell by a player's body language what he wants to do. Is he on both knees, zoned into his gunfight? Yeah, Alex Goldman, it's exactly what he's doing right now. Not really looking for a move. Now on the flip side, looking at Tampa Bay Damage, 9 minutes and 38 seconds remain here. And a good crossfield zone up for Tampa Bay Damage as they have the lead. So, you know, if something strange were to happen and 9 minutes and 30 seconds were to tick off the clock, they'd win the game. So, you know, Tampa Bay not really needing to aggressively push forward. They're one of those teams that's really good at playing situational paintball, and they know they're up right now and just trying to sit on their all. Not only are they up on points, 1 point, but they're also up on bodies, 1 body as well.
Keith Brown starting to get bored, backs all the way up, looks to get a shot down the wire. He's got his head up now, he can start playing. Looking for kills across the field. Good shots from the back of that Snake 2. Brian Smith gonna come in support, watch the wire for him. Gonna put some paint in on Alex Goldman. There you see Brian Smith, good shots across the field from both of those spots. The tell tower right next to him where he just was. And there in the corner, Brian Smith, one of the most technically elite paintball players in the league right now.
Oh, for
and
sure.
And has been for the past 10 years.
You know, it's interesting, though, that Damage, they do have a 1 body advantage right now against the Ironmen, but just by at least body language of the guys on the Snake side looking to make a little bit more moves. Now, I think that's because the Ironmen really don't have a presence over here on the Snake side, and, you know, they do have Alex Goldman in Snake 1, but you know, Alex just locked into his zone right now. You can see there's the top left-hand portion of your screen. There's Alex leaning out, trying to get a snapshot. But number 17 for Tampa Bay Damage, Keith Brown, one of the fastest players in the league and one of the youngest players on that team, he just zoned up cross-field. That's all he really needs to do. You know, in this situation, when they're up a point, you know, all Tampa Bay needs to do is just zone it up, let the Ironmen come. And we're probably going to see a really long point here, Todd, unless somebody drops the ball, gets shot out of their bunker.
Yeah, I mean, Damage. Yeah, me and Maddie were out in Florida for the National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships, and we snooped in on the Damage and Infamous practice, and we saw Joey. He's like, "Hey, Joey, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, good. You know, playing some really fast points."
Yeah, Joey Blute, the manager.
Joey Blute, the manager, and he was like, "But don't worry, we'll figure out how to lock it out by the end of the weekend." I was like, "Oh man, all right." But I mean, Damage right now with the body advantage, that's definitely helping. But you know, they're communicating very well, keeping the zones locked up. You see Timmy Probst is switching back and forth. You know, Damage had pretty good control of that last point that the Ironmen won, and then threw it away by maybe attacking a little too carelessly. So not looking to make the same mistake twice.
Now we're looking at the D side cam here for the Ironmen. There's Stephen Pitts and Mike Paxton on double knees. So they're also locked into their zones right now, not really looking to make a move. Just trying to gunfight out of their spots and maybe hoping to get an easy kill, catch someone slipping. Problem is, though, they're down by 1 point. So they're eventually going to have to giddy up and head down the field, push aggressively into the line of Damage. Problem is, Damage, they have 5 players left alive.
Yeah, and Brian Smith, you know, he's played all 3 bunkers over there in the back of the Snake side, looking to get kills. Mike McCormick backed up out of that center temple into the Snake side tower. Alex Goldman bumped up from Snake 1 to Snake 2. He's playing off the back of it, looking to get his kills across the field.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure that the Tampa Bay Damage and Keith Brown caught one in there. You saw the spray come off, and sure enough, Keith Brown comes off. So now we got ourselves an even matchup here, 4-on-4, and let's see if that motivates the Ironmen to play a little bit more aggressively now that they're only looking at 4 guns. And actually, because of that death, Keith Brown getting shot out of that bunker, now Alex Goldman, only player on the Snake side. Actually, no, he's now backed up. Looks like Stephen Pitts was able to, or Mike McCormick was able to make the move over. And then now the move's made by Brian Smith to get in there, so a little bit of jousting, but Stephen Pitts catches one for the Ironman, dying out of his bunker. Yep. So inopportune death for Stephen Pitts right there.
Just as creative as Stephen Pitts got to back up and shoot Keith Brown, I think Brian Smith got a little cheeky over here on the snake side and was able to shoot out Stephen Pitts.
Well, look at this on your screen right now. Alex Goldman getting in there clean. So, consistent, aggressive play by Alex Goldman. Situational awareness, not playing, not really pushing into the guns. Realizes he's the only guy over here, or at least was for a little bit until Mike McCormick came to join him. But Mike McCormick's gun is dedicated towards the Doritos side. Now we're looking at the backfield line for Tampa Bay Damage. Is Smith in there into snake 2 for Tampa Bay. Really long point. This, I believe, is the longest point that we have seen so far at this event, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, most of these points have been just bang, bang. They've gone pretty quickly. Teams attacking pretty hard over here once they see the openings. But, this is a tight game. Both of these teams won their first game. Damage beat the Tauntauns, and the Ironmen beat X Factor. So both these teams wanting to make sure that they secure themselves a second win on this first day, because tomorrow is just going to get even tougher, as the Ironmen are going to have to play Infamous and the Tauntauns, and Damage is also going to have to play Infamous and X Factor.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy day tomorrow, but before we get to that, we got to get through this game, and tense moments here, and now everyone's starting to run out of paint, run out of that ammo, and so we're going to see what sort of action can happen here with Alex Goldman in position on the snake side, Brian Smith into snake 1.
Yeah, and Chad Bougere snuck into the 40 Dorito over there. If he's able to cross that gap, he's going to have a shot on Alex Goldman's back, but whether or not he wants to risk that right now, as they are down 2 bodies. They only have Mike Paxton over there on the Dorito side.
Well, Todd, look at this battle shaping up over here as Brian Smith is out right now on Alex Goldman. You can see before Alex Goldman's head checking, and that's step 1 of the gunfight. You got to be real careful there. You don't want to necessarily lead with your gun unless you know you can establish a line on him. But Brian Smith locked into the gunfight, just starting to slowly pepper Alex Goldman's spot. And this is those moments when really they're going to have, this is gut check time for particularly the Los Angeles Ironmen, because they're looking at 4 bodies. They only have 3 bodies left alive. They're losing this game right now, so somebody's going to have to make a move, or Mike Hinman is going to have to blow the horn at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough if he doesn't.
Oh, Alex Goldman losing his gunfight to Brian Smith, and then as soon as he steps out of that spot dead, Mike Hinman blows the horn. That's a smart move by Michael Hinman, because now they're looking at a 2-point spread. Score is going to be 3-1 in favor of Tampa Bay Damage, 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go. And you want to concede that point, thus assuring you have as much time as possible to try to score some quick ones here.
I don't know if you saw that giant beacon on the back, the one that Alex Goldman is rubbing right now. I think he actually got shot in the back of the head when Chad Bougere bumped into the 40 Dorito.
So he got shot by his own guy?
No. Chad Bougere shot Alex Goldman.
Okay, yeah. So it's a situation where, it's going to be crazy. We're looking at 3-1 as the score. 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. We'll be right back after this.
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball?
Россия – это страна с очень сложными погодными условиями.
Not only is the Spire small and lighter than leading competitors,
the Spire is designed to take the toughest abuse the paintball puts out and keep feeding no matter how bad your paint or weather gets.
With a true 200 round capacity, it holds more paint as well.
Not only is it easier to take apart, but more importantly, it's easier to put back together. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
All right, we are back here. That was almost a 9-minute point, so definitely the longest point that we have seen played thus far in the 2013 Mid-Atlantic Open here. And so 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. Los Angeles Ironmen got to get something going here with the aggression, and it's going to come down to the breakout. Can they shoot someone off the break for Tampa Bay Damage? You're looking at their snake side right now. Both their players made it out alive over here on this snake side.
right away on into the Snake 2. Danny Park getting his spin, comes in here. He is in Snake 2, listening to his coaches, working down the wire right now. Dives straight into the 50 Dorito on the Snake side and is going to immediately start looking to chop down bodies across the field. No, he's going to switch and look to play the outside. 5 bodies still alive on both sides of the field. Oh, there comes the first one. Justin Schwartz gets shot out of the
I was just going to say, I love how Danny Park plays when he gets reps, man. He's always aggressive, pushing up the field. And honestly, every single guy almost to a man, we've seen a couple guys get shot pushing aggressively, but all the guys that decide to try to get up here to this 50-yard line are able to do it. Danny Park, one of those guys. And now Justin Schwartz, he does come off early, but also Jason Edwards dying early for Tampa Bay Damage, but just a minute and 38 seconds. So the Ironmen, they've got to get something aggressive going here. But Danny Park, he dies out of his bunker, and man, it does not look good for the Ironmen right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to go into Damage, no matter who you are, what the situation is. I mean, they're just a tough team to push into. And right now, the Ironmen figuring that out with the 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in this game right now.
Yeah, and Chad Boucher, the kill leader right now for Tampa Bay Damage, 5 confirmed kills, minute and 12 seconds left, and it's not looking good for the Ironmen. They have 3 players left, Bornstein, Rodriguez, and Margot, and those guys are going to have to push into the back line of Damage. And Todd, like you were saying, man, you don't really, it's hard to pick a tougher team to push into when you're down bodies and down points than Tampa Bay Damage. Look at Marcelo Margot on the D-side cam here, and now he's making his move. Really, unfortunately, it's going to be too little too late because you got to leave yourself enough time to try to win that second point to tie it up.
Yeah, and right now, Ramzi El-Youssef is diving into the Ironmen's first snake and going to turn the field, but he's going to get shot. Corey Bornstein still alive as well in the Snake Tower, or in the Dorito Tower. Oh, Marcelo Margot gets shot, so it's just Corey Bornstein right now. And Timmy Probe's going to come out, put one on his timepiece. And Corey Bornstein going to walk off the field, and that should do it. If Jacob Edwards hangs this flag under 10 seconds.
Yeah, so Jacob Edwards is going to let the time expire to under 10 seconds, so they're going to burn the rest of that time off the clock after he hangs it. So congratulations to Tampa Bay Damage, looking like they're going to be taking this victory here against the Los Angeles Ironmen 4-1. So, the Ironmen just not really ever getting any sort of push going. They didn't really have any offense.
No, I mean, it was just tough. I mean, they ran into a good Tampa Bay Damage team, which we know their specialty is shooting on the break, which they did a lot of the Dorito side and Marcelo Margot that game. There's Jason Edwards on your screen right there. This event ranked number 31, getting just over half kill a game. He's usually always up in the, the high 50s, 60s, 70s sometimes as far as kill goes. Survival 76. He's definitely one of the most dependable players on the team. He's always alive. Starts 3/4 of the games. It's what he wanted. He wanted to be able to be out there more, get more reps, and, really be a bigger factor on the field. And, ever since he has, I can really see Damage playing a lot better as a unit.
Yeah, well, the thing with Damage is that they do, a lot of the top teams in this league have a lot of depth, and in that back position, they had Dave Baines on the team for the past couple years, lost him to Edmonton Impact. But, I remember talking to Joey Bluth, the manager of that team, and when that went down and they lost Dave, and he had said, that's a hit. I'm not going to lie and say that losing Dave is a good thing. However, I got Jason Edwards on the team. And that's very true. I mean, Jason Edwards is, he was the People's Choice MVP, and and that's rightfully so. You got a guy like Jason Edwards. He's very versatile. He can play a lot of positions on the field. Great at shooting players off the break. Great at come from behind victories, and he's just one of those solid guys that you really can always count on. So. Hats off to Tampa Bay Damage and the rest of their crew as they were able to take the victory here against a pretty solid LA Ironmen, who have definitely got a victory under their belt so far. So the LA Ironmen now 1-1, and it's looking like tomorrow's going to be crazy. But before we sign off for the day, let's get into the highlights from today's competition. So earlier on in the first matchups,
that's Texas Storm right there, breaking down, jumping over and bunkering out Jaime Lopez. From Excessive in the first game this morning.
Excessive really struggled today as they just really couldn't find any sort of momentum, didn't get any sort of aggression going on. And the problem with Excessive was they just really didn't get any contribution out of their ones, though Jaime Lopez, he played pretty good. Rich Telford played pretty good, but that's about it. You know, and you really can't have just a couple guys have games and expect to win out here with this level of competition, and you know, even in the Challengers division. And then, you know, moving on to Impact and talking about guys that look phenomenal. Look at Ryan Moorhead, so fluid, and you know, his moves are just crisp and aggressive. And you know, though he normally plays on the Dorito side of the field, really stepped up. And with Impact having 3 weapons over here on this Snake side of the field, they are definitely the team to beat after this first day. And looking at the opposite view here of that, running down the always aggressive Osvaldo, you know, CEP, who really had a storybook ending. Well, they didn't win in the first event, but they were able to maintain their champion division position as Peter Velarde getting taken out. And then moving on to Dynasty, as San Diego Dynasty took on Moscow Red Legion, winning that game 5-4. And then Kovar, new pickup for Moscow, coming over from San Antonio X Factor. And Kyle Spica, talk about success stories, man. He won his first PSP event in Dallas at the first event just a couple months ago here. And then remember that amazing move from Yosh Rao?
Yeah. I mean, they were all, Lucas Shuk had that game all but locked up right there, and then Yosh Rao happened.
Yeah.
Able to come out. Lucas Shuk, you know, kind of took a bad position right there, but I mean, still, you got to be on your toes trying to close that game out. I think that game was a 3-on-2.
Such perfect form by Yosh. You see that gunned up the whole time. So good.
Yeah, you'd be able to pull that out, and that, I think, was the difference in that game right there.
Ooh, this was that major penalty on Alex Frazier. You know, Dynasty got a couple of those. Greenspan had a major, and, you know, he's haunted by those sometimes. And then, you know, but Dynasty able to fight back. They went 2-0 on the day.
Yeah, and there's Ronnie Dizon right there coming in, stepping out wide, taking a great angle on Lopez as he tried to come out. Lopez throws his imaginary flag in the air. And, you know, great game right there. Great day for Ronnie Dizon. Unfortunately, for Heat, they were one of the victims of the San Diego Dynasty today. So Heat went 1-1. That right there, again, was Ronnie Dizon just annihilating CEP players, you know, is at will whenever he felt like it. Jumping over, bam, get some. Thank you very much, Ronnie Dizon. Nice to meet you. Remember my name, number 4. And then here we have coming, cutting through the center of the field.
You know, we did start to see a lot of aggression out of this field, though. You know, we've seen some long points. We have seen some quick points. But I'll tell you what, man, when people like J-Rab, like Justin Rabikoff from Edmonton Impact, one of the, you know, the triple threat over here on the Snake side for Edmonton Impact, along with Justin Cornell, and you see the frustration in Kovar and also Ryan Moorhead and this Burnikoff. Burnikoff had some great moves today, too. You know, Burnikoff is going to be one of those guys that Moscow is going to need to count on to do stuff like this if they are going to progress in this tournament, and they struggled today. You know, they're really going to have to step it up tomorrow. We saw that double bunkering of Oliver Lang from Houston Heat. As Dynasty was finally able to get a little payback from Dallas, as the only team that they did lose to in Dallas was Houston Heat. Though they were able to take the victory today, you know, Dynasty did go on to win that event in Dallas. So, you know, and then here's Alex Goldman showing why he's one of the best ones, one of the best first attackers in the world, really. And, you know, even though not able to get it done here in this last game.
Yeah, he's going to make Billy Bernaccia wear it right there before he gets chopped up. But, I mean, Alex Goldman, you know, fierce attacker on the Snake side of the field. There's Damian Ryan.
Man, Damian Ryan had such a brilliant game, just a brilliant day today. But unfortunately for Damian, no one else on Infamous did. And that was the big problem, is that it was, you know, Damian Ryan getting double digits in kills out there and everyone else getting 1s and 2s. And so though Damian Ryan was playing at a 10, everyone else was playing about a 3. And that was why Infamous struggled so much.
And there's Bobby Aviles right now running the highway, bunking out Axel Godin. You know, doing a little bit of work for LA Infamous.
Well, you know, Bobby Aviles was the only other person really on Infamous getting any work done out there. And so, you know, Infamous is going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what their problem was today. So, wow, just a hell of a day of paintball here at the second event here, 2012 Mid-Atlantic Open. And before we sign off, we have an interview with Lauren Kelly and Tampa Bay Damage on the sidelines. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Chad Bougere from Damage. You guys just played Ironmen for the last game of the day. Now, I was standing, you know, over here watching you on the D side during that like 9-minute point. What were you guys thinking during that?
That my back hurt. I was ready to get it over with. I mean, we sort of had the point, you know, we had the bodies and everything. We just needed to, we knew they had to come to us. You know, the time was on our side. So, you know, our code's like story time. We sit there, just hold it out. It's boring for the spectators and us too, but I mean, gotta do what you gotta do to make it to Sunday. So we knew we had it in the bag, and that's about it.
All right, so tomorrow you have Infamous and X Factor. What do you think you guys need to focus on to really win those?
Our communication mainly. First game today, we blew London Nexus out of the water, or I think it was, no, Tauntauns, I'm sorry. Blew them out, but I mean, we played really sloppy actually. So the last game we tightened it up with our communication, and that was the difference. So that's what we need to do tomorrow. Focus, play as a team, and play our game, and we should take them no problem.
What did you see them doing today when you were scouting their games that you think is going to be a challenge for tomorrow?
I don't really see anything as being a challenge. We played Infamous for practice. They're doing exactly the same as they did at practice, so we sort of know how they play. X Factor's always that wild card team. They just come out and run all over the place, and either it works or it doesn't. So let's hope it doesn't work against us tomorrow and we shut them down. So that's going to be our goal.
All right, well, congratulations. That is it for day one here in Maryland.
All right, so let's get a look before we sign off at tomorrow's competition here, 2013 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open, brought to you from the OXCC here in Chesapeake City, Maryland. All right, first up, we got Moscow Red Legion taking on Chattanooga CEP. Must-win situation for both those teams. They went 0-2 on the day. Edmonton Impact, definitely the favorite after the first day of competition, playing aggressive, playing very smart, and they take on our defending champs from 2012, Houston Heat. And we got San Diego Dynasty, who won the first event in Dallas, and they take on Chattanooga CEP. Really tough bracket for CEP here to hang in this Champions Division. Houston Heat's going to take on Moscow Red Legion next, and then Dynasty and Impact. And then we're going to have 2 games from the Challengers Division. San Jose Royalty going to make their webcast debut against the New Jersey Jesters. And then Seattle Thunder going to be taking on Sacramento DMG, who actually won D1 before moving up into the Challengers Division. Then the Tauntauns going to start off the afternoon bracket playing San Antonio X Factor. Los Angeles Infamous will be playing the Ironmen good old LA grudge match. And then Tampa Bay Damage taking on San Antonio X Factor and LA Ironmen Tauntauns. And then to finish out the day before we head to Sunday where everything counts, Tampa Bay Damage going to take on LA Infamous. So wow, what a great day of competition here. Man, I can't wait till tomorrow. We will see you guys bright and early, 8:15 Eastern Time. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you tomorrow.
Holla.